Yeah, yeah. Or we can just you can play chords and all.
How great it is to gather together for Shabbat. Here comes the start. Hine matov u'manayim, sheverachim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, sheverachim gam yachad. Page 128. Sheverachim gam yachad, hinei matov u'manayim. 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 Sheverachim gam yachad. Dodi Lee. My beloved is mine, and I am my beloved's, top of page 129. Dodi Lee, vanilo haroeh bashoshanim. Dodi Lee. Again. Dodi Lee, vanilo haroeh when I keep Shabbat, God watches over me. Here we are gathering together to keep Shabbat together. And we invoke God's presence to join us in this moment. Ki Eshmera Shabbat, middle of 129. Ki Eshmera Shabbat, Yishmereini. Ki Eshmera Shabbat, Yishmereini. Odi leomeya, beino veini. Odi leomeya, beino veini. Want to try melody this time?
Sure.
Take melody.
Ki
Yeshmera Shabbat, Yishmereini. Ki Yeshmera Shabbat, Yishmereini. Odi leomeyad, beino veini. Odi leomeyad, beino veini. Ki Eshmera Shabbat, Yishmereini. Ki Eshmera Shabbat, Yishmereini. Shabbat Shalom. That is welcoming Shabbos. Wow.
I want to invite Ellen Elson up
Yes.
to formally introduce you.
Of course.
Beautiful. We could sit here all night and listen. Shabbat Shalom. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome our Rabbi, Ora Ahuvia, to the pulpit tonight to share beautiful words and beautiful music on this Shabbat. Ora and her husband, Aaron, are here to lead us in the salons for our 70th anniversary celebration. Ora and her husband come from Michigan. She has held posts in not only Troy, Michigan, but also Woodstock, New York. And they have two beautiful sons, 27 and 29, if I'm correct. So far, so good. She was trained in the renewal movement, and it's more holistic than even our movement. And she is now known as the psychedelic rabbi, which I want to hear a lot more about. I told her I'm coming over tomorrow afternoon, Maura, because I want to hear more about this. I asked her, do they have to smoke pot and do mushrooms before they start praying? And she didn't answer me.
Did Ara?
Anyway, Rabbi, welcome. We're so glad to have you here, and I'm sure
Thank you, Ellen.
Gordon is probably thrilled to have a rabbi that can sing.
I'm thrilled to have
Good thing this isn't streaming
a
out to the
music
public.
director that can sing.
Now it's watching.
Yes, good. So did the name Ara come after the title of psychedelic rabbi, or is that just an amazing coincidence?
It is an amazing coincidence. It truly, truly is. So what a privilege it is to be invited into this beautiful space of yours. And thank you for welcoming me so warmly. It's really been such a pleasure. So I'm going to talk a little bit. We're going to dive in a little more. I'm going to talk later, then we'll conclude. This week, we conclude the fourth book of the Torah, the book of Numbers, which contains a retrospective on where we are as a people, where we've journeyed so far, and it kind of asks the question, where are we? How did we get here? And as we stand on the precipice of entering the promised land, we wonder, where is it that we're going next? These are the kinds of questions that we're going to be asking ourselves. So tonight's theme, if you will, I don't usually theme Shabbat, but it lends itself so readily. Tonight's Shabbos theme is journeys. I'd like to ask your indulgence as I share briefly just a couple of touch points from my life's journey in the hopes that they might touch your hearts as they touched mine and perhaps even serve as food for reflection throughout tonight's service. Later on, I'm going to share some insights into the Torah portion that will relate to key touch points in all of our lives and address these guiding questions. How did we get here? And where are we going next? People look at me as I stand here now, a rabbi, and they imagine I must have always been a rabbi or always wanted to be a rabbi. But the truth is, I came to this much later in life. After my kids were born, actually, while I was growing up, I didn't even believe in God, per se. That said, I had spiritual moments. I appreciated Judy Blume's, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret." Around 6th grade, I found myself staring out a window into our backyard, and I had a powerful revelation. I realized that every life matters, whether it's a beautiful, attention-grabbing flower or an invisible, easily overlooked or discounted blade of grass. I was blown away by freshman year chemistry in high school because the mechanics of life was so complex, so majestic, that having the opportunity to study it and behold it felt to me a little bit like touching holiness itself. These are some of the things that touched my heart and paved my way for understanding of later life experience. These were touch points on my journey. As Jews, we're given the chance to reflect on our life's journey, to unplug from the daily grind, gain new perspective every week on Shabbat. The lights of the candles remind us, in the words of Abraham Joshua Heschel, that 6 days a week we wrestle with the world, attending to our things. On Shabbat, we seek to become attuned to the holiness of time. We care for the seed of eternity implanted in our soul. I'd like to invite up Karen, Gordon's wife, to please light our Shabbos candles. We can find the blessing, which we'll all sing together on page 120.
Okay, so just do the, do I do the English too, or just the Spanish? Let me just say it. Okay, all right, I'll do it my way.
It's a trick lighter.
Yeah. Okay, it's on. Got it.
Yeah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Page 142 for Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Ki melech
Shalom Aleichem Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Lecha Dodi on page 138. Verses 1, 2, and the last. Sure. Yeah. We'll do the first two verses on page 138, and then for the last verse, I don't know if it's your custom here to rise, and okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
I'll let you start, see which melody you do.
Oh, I was going to let you start.
Oh, okay.
You choose.
We typically do. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekapela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekapela. Shamor v'zachor, b'nichurecha hishmiyanu, El hamiuchad Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, v'shemu tiferet v'letila. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekapela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekapela. Likrat Shabbat L'chuven elcha, ki hi mekor habracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh b'machshavat techila. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekapela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekapela. Boi v'shalom, ateret balagam b'simcha, uvetzola toch emune am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekapela. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nekapela.
We remain standing and turn to the Baruch Hu on page 146. This is the official call to communal prayer. So take a moment and just look around the congregation and notice who's in our community as we enter into prayer together as a community. Your choice.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Baruch Hu et Adonai We continue on page 148, Mariva Ravim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro Mariva Ravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars just so. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. May you continually reign us into eternity. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv ha'ravim. Shema Yisrael,
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'vetecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot ben einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha L'man tizkeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. Well, one word about singing in unison with each other. Sometimes it feels like we're all singing the same notes at the same time, and sometimes you realize that our syllables are not quite in sync with each other. Have you ever gone to another part of the country or another part of the world and listened to the singing of a bird that is familiar to you from your hometown, and you notice it's slightly off? A mourning dove in California sounds a little bit different than it does in Michigan. The cardinal's sound in New Jersey sounds a little bit different than the way it sounds in Texas. And so it is with Jewish communities all around the world. Wherever you go, you're going to track minor differences here and there. And it doesn't mean anything is wrong. It's just simply a reflection of how multivaried we truly are as a people, and it reflects how many different strands of tradition and places we come from and have been. So I just wanted to say that because my ear was picking up some things during the Shema that I realized, yeah, maybe I do this differently because that's how we do it, in Ann Arbor.
But there is a mockingbird in California that can imitate the dialects of all the birds all over the country.
Whoa, no kidding.
No, I'm not. I am kidding, yes.
Oh, I'll believe anything. It's one of my charms and flaws at the same time.
Well, there might be. I just, mockingbirds can do that.
Micha Mocha, we find on page 158. Do you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Micha Mocha is this prayer of celebration. It tracks how we as a people just came through the Sea of Reeds, right? We've just been released from slavery, and we're finally on the shores of the other side of the sea. And for the first time in our entire lives, we realize we are no longer in danger. We're safe. There's no way what we've been running from can attack and hurt us anymore. And so this is sometimes sung in a celebratory way to reference that fact, Mi Chamocha. We turn to the next page, pages 160 and 161. The prayer Ashkivenu is a prayer also of protection. And in this prayer, we really invoke God's protective presence, not just over us and the people we know in our lives, but over all people everywhere around the globe. So take into your hearts in this moment someone or someone's, peoples, anywhere on planet Earth. Take them into your heart for a moment and hold them there, inviting in God's special protection, that they might go to sleep in peace tonight and rise in the morning to life.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
In a moment, we're going to rise for tonight's Amidah, also known as the standing prayer. We're going to take a couple of minutes in silence tonight so that you have time to search your own hearts for your own heart's prayer tonight, however it's showing up. Some of us like a little bit of guidance. If that's you, you'll find that guidance on pages 164 all the way through to page 178. So 164 to 178, but feel free to just let the Siddur rest and just be with your own heart. I'm going to ask you to, not yet. I'm going to, by way of entering into this prayer, a kavanah, Hebrew word for an intention, a poem. While waiting with great anticipation for the cheese pizza that I ordered, because I am consumed with hunger and I really need this pizza, God knocks on my door. I open the door and God says, I offer you the universe and all of its wonders, and I offer you life's greatest gift, love. That's nice, I reply, but I was really hoping for a cheese pizza, and I'm very hungry. Where's my cheese pizza, please, God? God smiles in that inscrutable way that God does and leaves, continuing on a lonely mission to go door to door, offering the universe and love to all who will receive it. While over and over, people respond with disappointment to God's offering because they were expecting a cheese pizza and God didn't deliver their prayer. Please rise.
page 178. Oh, 160. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Shalom Rava Yisrael Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata hu melech hador B'chol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech hador B'chol hashalom. Shalom Rava Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Tasim Leolam. B'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. B'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rava Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. There are those who we wish were in better health, be it health of body or health of spirit. For them, we sing Misha Berach, our healing prayer, page, thank you, Gordon, page 371.
There's different, yeah. The Friedman. Do Debbie Friedman. That's right. Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Included on our healing list tonight are CBS members Alana Massey, Kevin Brackett, Michelle Camisia, Joshua Hyman, Jesse Friedman, Marjorie Gilberg, Jim Mates, Brenda Flood, Sharon Blevis, Walter Wilmert, Jerry Mautner, Kirk Whitlatch, David Rabb, Jensen Beach, Aaron Ledden, Geraldine Kokish, David Mendelson, Rachel Sadik, Blake Battles, Marty Spitz, Michaela Cohen, Miguel Gonzalez, Carmen Galaz, Faye Goldstein Glick, Diane Radho Persolet, Maeve Lu Huang, Janet Marbury, and Bernita Ladrigan. If there's anyone else here who'd like to include a name that you didn't hear, yeah, please. Thank you. Yes. Did I miss anyone? As we come to today's Torah portion, a double parsha called Matot Maseh, we find ourselves at the conclusion of our collective journey as a people, the movement from enslavement in Egypt to freedom in the desert. The parsha looks back at our wanderings, recounting them by naming each of the 42 stops that we made through the desert. Our journeying brought us the Torah, but not before the golden calf. And it's owing to the golden calf that we didn't enter the promised land, as God originally intended, but rather, that generation of freed slaves had to die out, and a new generation be born into a state of freedom before we as a group were able to move forward en masse. That's why our wanderings took 40 years, instead of the 2 days that some scholars estimate is all it would have taken. There's a joke. Why did the Jews wander in the desert for so long? Because Moses wouldn't stop to ask for directions. Couldn't resist that one. What are we meant to learn? What is our takeaway supposed to be from these wanderings of 40 years? First of all, when we read the list of 42 steps in Parshat Matot Maseh, we're not meant to be getting a geography lesson. Rather, we're meant to read the text at a deeper level and understand that it is trying to convey to us a deeper message that's relevant to our lives even today. Rabbi Yisroel ben Eliezer, known as the Baal Shem Tov, or the Besht, was a Jewish mystic and healer from the mid-1700s. He taught that these 42 steps were describing the psychological and spiritual stops that each of us, even today, take as we journey through life. Why 42? We can speculate. There's a lot of rich material there. But one very brief reason why 42, I'm going to suggest, has to do with gematria, a mystical wordplay that aligns letters and numbers. And if you use gematria to figure out what the number 42 stands for in words, one of the words it stands for is Eloah, one of the divine names. There are many divine names, but one of them is Eloah, 42. Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch, who was a towering scholar from the last century, pointed out that both journey and encampment were at God's command. Whenever God had them break camp, the intention was that they should attain a new goal, and that their resting place would be a suitable place to attain that goal. To the people, however, it felt like just the opposite. Wherever it is they stayed, they felt dissatisfied. When it came time to depart, leaving became their purpose. I'm out of here, they would say. Didn't matter to them where they were going next. For them, the main thing was leaving where they had been. From this, we learn that the journey of life entails psychological and spiritual growth points. To us, it might not feel like there's anything to learn where we are, and we really might feel like moving on. But from the divine perspective, we may have been placed somewhere precisely because it's time to learn something new, and we're finally ready. Whether or not we learn what we were intended to learn is another matter, but the opportunity remains available always. Second, life is a convoluted journey. It doesn't often feel like progress at all. We bumble, we fall down, we make mistakes. We find ourselves learning the same lessons over and over again. We are, in a word, human. This is underscored by mapping the 42 stops enumerated in this double parsha. If we were to draw these stops on a map, we'd end up with something that resembles a child's scribbles. Their journey went up, it went back down, it looped, it had false starts, it doubled back again. Every stop was different. Some were stops of a few days. Others were encampments of weeks, months, even years. From this, we learn that the journey of life is nonlinear and messy, with doubling back and pauses as well as advancement. Thirdly and finally, there are certain moments in our lives that we are meant to remember. They are touch points, which, in retrospect, turn out to have been formative moments, whether or not we were able to consciously respond to them when they occurred. We know this because of the many, and by the way, I'm about to say a phrase that's going to really be exciting to those of you who love SAT words. We know this because of the many hapax legomena appearing amongst the 42 stops listed. Oh my God, what did she just say, you might be wondering? Hapax legomena, Greek for it was only said once. Many of these 42 place names are only said once in the whole of Torah. There are numerous hapax legomena in this parsha. They're used not only as place names, but also as descriptors, such as place of bitter waters, wasteland, place of vision, or haven. Rabbi Dom Isaac Abravanel, a Portuguese scholar from the mid-1400s, speculated that these names were given by the Israelites to commemorate specific events. These colorful place names served as reminders to them of key events. This, after all, was an oral culture. They didn't have print materials necessarily that they were traveling around with. They had things memorized. And so these colorful place names served as reminders to them of key events, the same way that we might snap a photograph and, I'm old school, place it in an album, so that later reminiscences will remind us of that place, that time, what was happening in our lives then. As we journey through life, certain key events take place. This parsha teaches us to mark them in memory so that we can revisit them. What all of these lessons have in common is that we are not alone. We may never enter the so-called promised land. We live our lives. Maybe we're aware of encountering opportunities for psychological and spiritual growth. Maybe not. As some of my friends like to quip, another learning opportunity. Our journey through life is messy and fraught. We think we're making progress only to find our way blocked, and we realize that we have to find another way. In other words, we're human. As time goes on, we realize that there were touchstones, key moments that were significant. And whether our current place in the journey of life has us feeling happy or sad, angry or peaceful, afraid or wistful, there is a sense that we're not alone. At all points, whether still or moving, we are accompanied. May this thought bring us a sense of connection, of belonging, and peace. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with the Aleinu on the bottom of page 586 and wraps up on page 591. And I'll just point out, I don't know that perhaps it gets pointed out a lot, but if you turn to 586, At some point in the midst of the Aleinu, which I'm not 100% sure appears in its completeness in this particular Siddur, there's a line that talks about the requirement. Aleinu is Hebrew for it is upon us. It is upon us, Aleinu, to remake the world b'malchut Shaddai, in the image of the divine, to the extent that we can sense that which is holy and play a role in bringing it about. That's what this prayer is really inviting us to do. We've concluded the prayers of the heart, and this prayer invites us to really ask us to, and challenge us to think, how are we going to put those prayers into action to increase holiness in the world? Please rise for the Aleinu. Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tet gedula liyotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gohor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad.
Please be seated. I'd like to invite board member Dave Dubrow up for tonight's holy announcements. Hey. Hey. Shalom.
Shabbos, everybody. Thanks for coming
Shabbos.
today, Rabbi.
Yes,
Nice to
thank you.
meet Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for the invite.
Karen's going to start with a special announcement, but before we do that, I believe there's a camera there, and there's a camera there. Can everybody look at the camera and say good Shabbos to everybody at home? All right, Karen, you're up.
Hello.
Go to the mic.
Mike. Hello. I have put out some flyers and a paper survey out on the side there that is the Napa County Needs Assessment for seniors 60 and over living in Napa County. And some of you may have heard of it, already filled it out, but if you haven't, there's an opportunity until the end of July to fill it out online with the QR code or the website, or on paper with this multi-page thick survey to have your opinion be heard and counted as part of the about 2,000 surveys that we're trying to get. We've already gotten about 1,400. So we're trying to get 600 more before the end of the month, all through Napa County, about what's working, what isn't working, what you'd like to see more of. And I think there's an opportunity also to say what you think would be helpful and some solutions as well. So it's on the side there. And thank you very much.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you.
I count as a senior too, right? I'm in. Okay. So, good Shabbos, everybody. This summer, check out books from our CBS library to kick off our Young Children Jewish Summer Reading Program, and we have volunteers to help provide access to families during the week. You can find details on the website. There's a lot on the website. You should really check it out if you haven't. And plus, for the kids who report on at least 5 books, there will be an end-of-summer pizza and popsicle dinner. I'm there for the popsicles. August 18th at 5 o'clock. Next, registration is still open online for our Patron Salon Series. I believe there was one started a day or two ago, maybe yesterday. Patron Salon Series with our remaining programs for July 15th. That's tomorrow, 16th, and August 17th. There are more details online, once again, and you can find flyers in the foyer. The member tribe, Your Right to Resilience, will have their final meeting of 5783 on July 19th at 6:30 p.m. New dates will be shared soon. Soul Sisters, hey, Sister Soul, Sister, annual planning meeting will be on Zoom at 7 o'clock on Monday the 24th. Anybody remember that song? All right, awesome. Got to have fun. Life's short, folks. Rabbi Goldstein and Art Grand will lead Torah study at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, July 29th. L'chaim is back. Ellen? L'chaim is back for another summer at Copia. Tickets are on sale now via Eventbrite for the festivities on August 27th. Buy your tickets now because it will sell out, right? Right. If any members are looking to connect more with fellow CBS members here and have an idea for a tribe contact, please contact Lauren, as new tribes are always welcome. I'd like to give some warm wishes to this week's birthdays and anniversaries. Happy birthday to Lorraine Fingerson, Stephen Brower, to Lula Finkelstein. Did she get a bat mitzvah recently? That was Ruby. That was Ruby. Okay, I got it mixed up. Sorry. Thank you. Mara Peresensky. I apologize if I brutalized her name. Iona Metiscu, Mark Epstein, Rachel Bronk, Alan Goldstein, Josh Slater, Larry Posner, Sherry Kohos, and Judy Nystrom. Around here somewhere. There you are. Hi, Judy. Happy birthday. Happy anniversary to Michael and Lauren Shevlin, their 47th, rock star, and Gary Lieberman and Judy DeMond for their 29th. Good Shabbos. Thanks again. Keep up the great work, Ellen, on L'chaim. Gordon, love.
Thank you, Dave. Here we are. Okay. We conclude tonight's service by also widening our circle even more, this time in remembrance of those who no longer walk this earth with us but are very much alive in our hearts. On our one-year Kaddish list include Paul Dworsky, Ed Eston, Micah Bisel, Colonel Ed West, Jill Daly Katz, Gabriel Harrison Escalera, Joe McCaffrey, Ruth Morlett, Lourdes Blake, Othello Thornton, Alan Rosen, Fred Goldman, Ann Rapson, Bob Massey, Lucille Posner, Bunny Goldstein, William or Bill Leinish, Barbara Cosson, Minnie Shostak, Kevin McCarville, Etta Kessler. And this week we observe the yahrzeits of Bill Siegel Chayat, Charlotte Caton, Marjorie Hollingsworth, Jane Goldstrom, Nina Storm, Rosalie Hyman, Abe G. Frank, Steve Woolston, and Harry Pastkan. Is there anybody who's observing a yahrzeit here who didn't hear their name on that? Who didn't hear a name on that list? Okay. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbos candles, life is kindled. It burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades. Its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see. In light we are seen. The flames dance, and our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more, are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, and of life and light. If it is your custom to rise for the mourner's Kaddish, I invite you to please do so. We're on page 598. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah Be'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lamei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'it hadar, v'it ale, v'it halal, shamei dekudasha b'richu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Ose shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May their memories ever be for a blessing. May be seated. Our final song.
Our final song. She's looking to me for our final song.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, why don't we just do
What do you
some
like?
beautiful Ose Shalom that you know?
Yeah. Do you know Napa Tehillah?
I'm not sure. You're gonna lead it. I know it.
All right. This may be a new melody or not, I'm not sure, but it's a great one. If you don't know it yet, you'll be happy you learned it tonight. Let's see. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, say shalom bimromav. Oh, yeah, say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru, v'imru. Amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Oh, say shalom bimromav. Oh, yeah, say shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru, v'imru. Amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Oh, say shalom bimromav. Oh, ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Ve'imru, imru. Shabbat Shalom. Beautiful. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. Beautiful job. Let me bring over the. Let's see.
Is there somebody who feels inspired to lead Kiddush and Hamotzi tonight?
We can invite Charles up because Charles always helps us with something and opening our doors. But today,
Amen.
Charles will. Thank you, Charles. Do you remember the blessing? You were here for camp, so you probably remember it, right? Okay. Well, we're going to help you. Okay.
Yeah.
So here you can hold it. Why don't you just hold that up and turn face that way so everybody can see.
There you go.
There you go. Okay, ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Just hold it up like this. Show everybody. Great.
Is it juice or wine? Do we know? It's wine. Okay.
Yeah, you wouldn't like it.
All right. How'd you like to take the cover off the challah?
Why don't you take the, yeah.
There you go. Ready?
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, avon. Yeah, good.
You get to eat this. Dig in.
And we invite you all back in social hall. Shabbat Shalom.
Hey,
Shabbat Shalom. Oh, we have a hand
Hey.
up.
Oh,
Ah, very
By the
important
way-
announcement.
should any of you be interested? Yes, I'm giving a concert of world Jewish music tomorrow night at 7 p.m. here. It should be great. So I hope to see you all there.
Shabbat, Shabbat,
Shalom.
Shabbat,
Hey.
Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. It was fun.